Everybody knows how to pack a reserve normally? Or you ever seen there? Is that the first time?
No, I've seen it, but...
Okay. And for you? Never? That's the first? Wahoo! So exciting. So I'm starting by placing my canopy with the right fabric on the right part and the left fabric on the left part, and all the lines in the middle. Then, right now, the leading edge is almost completely open. Okay, so now I have to make it cleaner than this, because it has to be really clean because it's a reserve. So, first thing is I remove the slider and be on the side of the canopy and bending in half. So getting 1, 2, 3 cells, placing my A-line in tension, and this is my first fold in between A and B lines. Maintain it, clean it inside, going on the second fold, which is in between B and C. Placing all my line in tension, cleaning the fabric inside. Taking the third fold in between C and D. 1, 2, 3, 4. At this time, I have my stabilizers getting out and as clean as I can. Bless you. Then, taking care of my trailing edge. So I'm in the middle. So for you, the E-fold is here. I have my Ds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm just taking care of this seam. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then try to bend it correctly to make a perfect curve here. Because sometimes it can go inside like this, and it's really bulky. So if you do it like this, it creates like a nice fold. So normally I'm using a short bag to put there, but it was too heavy to my luggage. So using my clamps, going on the second side, and doing the same. 1, 2, 3. Flat. Placing my fingers aligned with the A. Placing everything in tension. Fold it cleanly. Then cleaning inside between A and B. Second one. And as you see, my left hand is maintaining, look at the TV, is maintaining the fold on place just to have this part inside. So cleaning between B and C, and then every time I'm placing the lines in the middle. C and D, 1, 2, 3, 4. then my stabilizer, and the trailing edge. Like this. Same. 1, 2, 3, 4. And trying to manage this part like this. Yeah, like this. And make it like a curve. You see? So, for the newbies, do not hesitate to ask me questions in case of, to make it more clear. All right? So, now I will place my slider. I like to remove it for the first part just because it's more clear for me. Because I do not have this part of fabric disturbing me or does not allow me to see what's happening inside. So with the slider now, I'm making like a nice and clean cross, as clean as I can. And it looks like a small hat, like this. Then the objective is to have the good width to fit this canopy into this bag. So for that, I have to reduce it like this. Okay, so first I would take care of the right part. So move it like this, gently, not to remove what I did previously. And then taking care of my first fold, bend in half and a little bit more. I'm working every time in tension, just not to forget the tension of all my lines. Doing exactly the same on the second fold. Middle and in half and a little bit more. For the third fold, it's because it's smaller than the two first, I can bend in half. My stabilizers, this one, I will do a small S fold. Show you again. Click, like this, and then managing the rest. And for sure, I'm doing exactly the same on the second side. So, as you understood, in half and a little bit more. Second one, same. The third one. Stabilizers. And the trailing edge. My slider is moving. It's completely normal. Okay, so at this time, it's starting to get better. So, right now, I will do my cocoon. The cocoon is to roll the center cell around this fold to maintain that and to be able to keep them on place when I'm putting everything inside the free bag. Okay, so doing my cocoon, what I'm doing is putting just a little bit down, just a little bit. If I pull too much, I will pull my Ds. And I want to have all my lines in tension. So I just pull a little bit and then put my knees on the side and doing my cocoon like this. If you use clamps, use them gently. This is an optimum reserve with a low bulk fabric. The fabric is really fragile, so use it really, really gently. Okay? For the others also, but more with low bulk fabric like optimum reserve or smart LPV, for example, and something like this. The thinner the fabric is, the more caution you have to use your clamps. Okay, so going on the other side, placing my knees, and my cocoon is done. If I want, I can double check that's the right measurement. You have to know that this distance and this distance are the perfect distance of your reserve container. So if you respect this, it fits perfectly inside. Okay? Right now, I will take care of my leading edge. So, because I'm always starting on this side, don't know why, but it is what it is. Taking care of this one, 1, 2, 3. Aligning the opening with my cocoon as clean as I can, then placing my finger here, my hand completely flat, then my leading edge is clean and fold inside. Second one. One, 2, 3. Aligning. Placing my finger right hand. Articulating my hand flat and bending below. Right. Any questions? Clear for everybody? Cool. So keep going. So now I will do some S folds to place my canopy into my free bag. For this, I will need the help of my wooden stick. This wood stick, I use it only for canopies, only. every time I'm using it, before using it, I try to feel that there's no damage on it, not to damage the canopy. If your tool is damaged, please don't use it. There's a big risk of damaging the canopy. Okay? So, what I will do now is preparing my first S-fold. I opening my trailing edge, placing my stick here, and making a small S-fold like this. And closing like this. Okay? Now I'm doing something a little bit different than the user manual. Why? Because I wanted to show you that this technique is really easy and could be a little bit easier than what we can show. So at this time, I'm placing my free bag just below my first S-fold. Then my free bag is not able to move away. So I'm ready to do my hairs and place everything inside. So now, what I will do is removing my clamps, placing them away because I don't need them anymore. And now I will try with my finger to feel the soft point. So here, it's really hard. I can feel the grommets of my slider. It's still hard. And then there's a step. You see the step here? So from here, I will take my center cell into my fingers, like this. Slowly, gently, I'm following the stitching of the rib, of the center rib. Like this, like this. Then I will find the opening of my center cell here. So, pushed it a little bit inside, roll a bit my center cell and placing my center cell on top of my grommets, slider grommets. I have now two long hairs. So I have to make them clean. So right now, I'm taking my hair with my left hand, and just in front of my knee, I can articulate my hair. So I push my thumb here, and then go over my first fold. Oops. Maintain it. Taking care of my second here. Put my thumb and going over. My center cell is still here and still completely open. Now, bend it like this, taking my free bag and pushing it. Taking the second one. Like this. It's almost done. So now I need you on the other way. So right now, I open with my fingers to maintain this hole here. I'm pushing the maximum into my free bag, taking my bridle, not to lose my freestyle. Then it's in. But I have to clean this. So, taking my wooden stick, placing my free bag on the side, and then catching the fold, pushing inside. You push gently, gently. Use your stick inside the free bag gently, please, just because the canopy is fragile, so don't hurt it, okay? Now I will place my stick like this on the side, and I will roll to catch my hair and to push my hair at the end of the free bag. I'm doing it the same on the other side. First, side, turn, and push. So this part is really, really cleaner than previously. Then now I will take care of this, because what I want is to create a valley over here. You will see why later. Okay? So I'm placing gently the fabric on each side. What we can see is the valley here. I can show it to the camera. You can see on the screen there's a big valley here and here. I want to keep it, okay? Just because I need this hole. What I can do now is also creating the space here for the 80. But I don't want to lose my hole. So this is why I push down with my thumb and create this space for the 80. Now I will take care of my lines. So every time you use some tools, just be sure that nothing is inside the rig. So now, two solutions. The first solution is to go with the free bag to the rig by stowing the lines, or the second solution is staying close to the free bag and pulling the rig to the free bag. The second solution is possible if you have a clean surface of work and there's no weight on your rig. The lightest it is, the better it is to avoid all frictions. Okay, because you can see that the reserve risers are close to the ground, and then the more weight you put there, the more damage you can create on the webbing. All right? So, to store my lines, I need this Velcro protector. Easy. It's a piece of webbing with 2 pieces of soft Velcros to protect this. Okay? Because on this Optimum, the fabric of the lines is microline untreated. And it is really, really fragile, and this Velcro is really aggressive to this fabric. So I open it by taking care of the lines, like this. Second one. Like this. And because I'm finishing this side, I will go this way. If I stop finishing this side, I will go the other way, just to have back and forth things. So first is put my thumb like this to create like a vertical things here, maintain it, and create a loop with my other finger. And pushing this loop as clean as I can into the pocket by respecting the first vertical things I wanted to have. Maintaining the first, create the second loop, and you can see it's filled on the bottom, and keep going. I'm stopping here just because I don't need extra excess of lines into the container, because if you see, there's the cutter, and if I have too much lines into the container, it can catch the cutter. So I just need this distance to open my risers. That's it. So now I will push all my lines out of my Velcro. I'm really take care of this. And I remove gently my protection by pushing the lines into the pocket. I can see riggers go super fast. You don't need that. You don't need that. Just be precautious with placing your lines inside and fighting the damage you can have on this fabric. Then I don't need this anymore either. Oh, placing on the side. And I'm close to be okay to close my container. Any question? So you can go this way, and then I will turn. Like that. I allow him to be sit down. And so now the first thing I need is a new reserve closing loop. Every time you open a reserve container, you change the closing loop. Every time. Okay? So I removed the old one and put my new one. Just to open for everybody to see. At this time, placing my reserve closing loop.
How long is the closing loop?
You have in the user manual, it's a 5.4 centimeter to 5.6 centimeter non-stretch. Okay, it's the same size from the RSK to the J8. This is an advice from ThunPass. This is not mandatory, but it is an advice. The only thing mandatory is the pressure you have on your reserve handle can be from 5 to 22 pounds. All right, so, but if you use this measurement and you do your pack job correctly like this, it will fit perfectly.
So that is measured before you stretch it?
It's unstretched. Unstretched. I mean, this loop is not stretched. I will stretch it by doing my closing. Okay? So it means you can respect the fabric of the reserve closing loop by doing your closing. I need some tools to close the rig. The first one is this. Most of rigs can be closed with Cypress pull-up cord, Cypress fabric pull-up cord. For the Javelin, because the cutter is in the bottom of the container, I can use 1,000-pound microline because I do not have to go through the cutter with this pull-up cord. So 1,000 pounds microline, false pin, clean. Check it. If it's not clean, trash it. Use your new one. Okay? Safety tie for the skyhook, you will see, and to seal my pack job. I use also a riffle cleaner to go through my pilot sheet, and aluminum stick, you will see why, and my magic tool to save my bike. So, first, is going through my loop. Then placing my free bag like this, slowly, not to destroy everything. Then I will place, slowly I said, my risers. Now I will place my free bag like this and checking what's happened below. So first, I place my risers correctly. Second, I check I'm able to check my cutter if the loop is not wrapping around, and then no lines are around my cutter. I take my lines with my right hand now. So I try to place my grommet of my free bag just above the cutter. And placing my corners. Okay? Now that the last moment that you can check that everything is correct with the cutter. First, I will do 2 folds on the left, two folds on the right, and then I will place my green tab before placing my flap, because if you want to do it after, it's tricky. So do it now, and let's close this flap like this. Now I have to securize my skyhook with the red lanyard. Thing I can do is this way. Like this. Okay, because I'm trying to show you the wrong way, it doesn't want. So if you do like this and you are not sure about the placement of this red lanyard, just check this draw. This can cause a lot of disconnection. So what we want to see is to have the red lanyard on top of the green, exactly as shown here. So on top, then going there, exactly the same, that's good. And now I have to securize it, so I'm taking a small piece of safety tie. That is the only one fabric authorized to securize the skyhook. It's a 4 pounds .75. Don't use any E-thread, 5-cord, super tack cord, whatever. Use this. Bless you. And now you need good eyes and a bit of luck. Just because there's 2 tiny holes into the plastic part, you have to go through them. Okay. You have to go through them to securize the skyhook. And then, exactly like this, you go on the first and you go on the second, and it moved. And come on, yeah, I got it. And you do a center knot, tight. Like this. I remove the excess, put it on the side. This loop has to be really tight. Why? Because if it's too loose, you can have a chance of a disconnection without breaking the thread. It happens. So make it tight and you will be safe. Next, I will take care of my side flaps. So put my pull-up cord. What I can see sometimes is people are pulling their flaps this way. Well, my advice is to put 45 this way and use my hand to push my free bag here. If I'm doing this, it's good, but I don't push, so it can create like a hole here. So, using my hand by pushing like this. Okay? Taking care of the second part, what you can see is the free bag has a tendency to move this side. So, taking my pull-up cords, pushing this way, taking care of my bridle, and also by taking care of my bridle here, I'm pushing the fabric of my canopy out to continue to create my valley. So, now I would take care of this to make this part clean. And try to fill my hole, what I wanted. You see? You see the hole I have here? That will be a part of your success on this back jump. So next is the rest of the bridle. And I have to manage my pilot chute. The pilot chute, on this you have the trim tape, the blue one, and the pinstripe, the yellow one. The junction of the trim tape is here, and the junction of the pinstripe is here. It's always at the opposite, always. Okay? And if you place your finger here, on the junction of the pinstripe, you can feel the olive just below. You can synchronize the coils. So I would want to have this olive on top of my rig. And I will explain you why. So, like this. As clean as I can. I'm placing my rifle cleaner, and by taking care to be fully in the middle of the coils, like this. As you can see, my pull-up cord is really long because I can do this without any trouble, and I don't care about my tool now. I just can be concentrate of my pilot chute. So I want to have the trim junction below this flap and the pinstripe junction below the last flap. Now, placing my fingers like this, pushing, then releasing the pressure to remove gently the fabric out of the coils. Just be careful of this. Now, so now I will take care of my parachute. So, place my knee just to lift it up a little bit. Then taking care of the marquisette. Like this. Placing my knee on the other side to lift it up the other way. And doing the same gently. The other side.
As it's inside the parachute, it's not under the parachute, right?
It's not inside. The parachute is like this. So you are just below the coils. If the parachute should be like
Not
this,
the first coil.
yes.
Okay.
At this time, what I see sometimes is some people are turning like this. Don't do that. It's creating delay. Okay, so you are like this, so you can reduce it with your fingers, like this. Place your knee just to push the fabric into your belly, and then create a T. Like this. Now, I have to close this flap. To close it, first you can go through the grommet and take your parachute and put it just a little bit. So now I can see the beginning of the finish. It looks most correct. And I will take care of my dog ears. You can do these now or at the end. By myself, I prefer to do them now just because I can be back on them after. And then the finish is a little bit more clean than doing at the end. So placing my aluminum stick. Why I'm using this and not my wooden stick? Because if this break, the wooden stick break, I can damage the rig, I can damage myself, I can damage the canopy. Okay? This aluminum stick is completely round and thick. So I'm placing here, snapping a little bit. I don't need to use a hammer or something, so just my hand. That's it. Large enough. Now, take the last flap. If you see, now this flap is bent, got a round shape. My objective is to make it flat to reduce the distance in between the two grommets, this one and this one. So, slowly, can snap it, make it flat, and as you can see, it's flat and the distance is really reduced. Now, we take care of the finish. The finish, there's the pin and the cable. If you close only the pin, you will have some surprise by pulling the cable because nothing is connected. So please do not forget to connect the cable with the pin. The marine eye, that's the name of the finishing of the cable, as a side. If you do, you place it on the wrong side, it works, but it pulls the pin not correctly just because it's creating a angle here. And what we want is to pull the pin straight. So if you place it correctly, if you see, it's completely straight. It's aligned to the pin. So it reduces the force. So, what's happened? My loop broke. It's happened. It means no. No, because the strength was good enough, but it happens sometimes. If the smiley, look at this, the smiley can be sometimes damaged into the center hole. And then we can see that there's some fabric here. So if your loop is too short, most of the time it's breaking here. And this is because there's something on the smiley. So this, trash it. Okay? So, okay, it happens. So this one, I will not use it anymore. So I can take the used smiley, not the used loop. Taking a new loop, and then And then do it again.
58.
Yeah, 58, 54 to 56 out of the smiley, not on the knot. So I'm doing a bit less than 8 centimeters from the knot. So you can go through the smiley. You can go through the smiley and do your mark after this and do your knot after. But to be honest, I have my habits with this, and I try to be a bit more efficient. So I always have a piece of 5 cord to go through the smiley. This kind of thing can happen every time. So even you are taking care of your tools and you know the measurements or whatever, you can have some damage on your false spin, you can have the damage on the smiley, it happens. So you don't have to be scared about this. It's just a question of time, and I'm pretty sure that the cameraman got a lot of memory in his camera.
So now it's 5.8 from the washer to the end.
Yeah. So now I'm just taking care by replacing my loop through my cutter. And then do it again, cleaning the inside, pushing my free bag, then 1, 2, 1, 2, double check the connection of my skyhook. Do it again. So remember 45 degrees, pushing the fabric on the side. Pushing on the side also. just to show you exactly what I'm doing. So my hole, my AD, and my bridle. So identify my pin strap connection. I want it the other way.
Check, check. 10 minutes left to buy your dinner tickets. Head down to the entrance if you want your dinner tickets. Last chance to buy your dinner tickets.
When you have no chance, you have no chance. Because what can happen there is this can happen. You have the pull-up cord catch some bridle. So doesn't matter, but you have to clean it. Just because you can pull with your all strength, it will not come. As you understand, so placing my marquisette like this. Yeah, I don't roll it, just because if you roll it, you create like a thick part of fabric just below the pilot chute, and you are not be able to place it completely flat on the side flaps. Like this. That's a baby not happy, huh? And now, hop, push it through the hole, through the valise, and making a clean mustache. So, my dog ears. You don't need to push too hard because we can come back to this part right after the end. My last flap. So now, placing my pin into my marinade on the right side. When it's running like this, it's so easy. And now, just turn it, place it under. As you can see, I did not put too much after the loop. Why? Because it allows me the possibility to place it by myself. Like that, I can feel the tension I have on my reserve closing loop. If it's too much, it's not possible to move it like this. Now, so if you don't know how to place this line, write a J, like a javelin. This time, I'm like this. I keep my pull-up cord in. That's the last thing I'm removing after checking everything is correct. Why? Because if, for example, I did not place my marinade on the right side, I'm able to just pull it, change the side, and be back. If I remove my pull-up cord, I'm back again, changing my loop. You understand? So now, taking care of my mustache. So doing a small S fold and slowly push the fabric into my hole. Also, I'm using the aluminum stick because it's thick, round, and clean. If you see, there's two bar tacks here. These two bar tacks create a box around my hole I did. So it maintains my fabric on place during the whole lifetime of the pack job. Placing on the side. And then putting the fabric into my hole. And now just placing my fabric like this. This flap is completely flat. Now take care of the sides. As you can see, the sides are really round. The main risers are here. It can create like a delay, okay, for the two sides. So this is why I'm taking care of this, like this. You can use also your hands. Objective is to make this side flat, like that there's no retention for the main risers to go out. And also it pushes the fabric close to here to have no gaps, also here. Done. So my check is flat and clean, no fabric. Right side closing loop is clean. So now I can remove gently, because the side press loop fabric does not like the friction and heat. When you use a brand new 1,000-pound microline pull-up cord, you have some strange things around, but it's just because the induction of the line is getting out. All right? Now, we have to seal it. So, to seal your job, safety thread. Like this. So do it, in this case, do it on the pin, not on the cable, because if it's on the cable, you can pull the lead into the hardware, the hard housing. It's the same as the skyhook. Use only the safety tie, not E-thread, 5-cord, super tack cord, or something like this. So I don't know what is allowed in UK, but are you still using some leads? And paper? Paper, like, okay. Like this. If I forgot. And this got my initials and also my letters of my certificate, like this. Check. That's it.
So easy.
It is not so difficult, for sure. You have to be really careful about what you do all the time, and then everything can happen, as you can see. So if you speak with riggers, say, I'm doing exactly the same thing and nothing happened, nothing strange happened. You can have some doubts. You can have some doubts. Everything can happen. So, I don't know, the pull-up cord can break, the fabric of the pilot chute can be catch by this pin. If you don't test your false pin before, you just release your false pin and you cut the loop. Whatever. A lot of things. So you just have to be prepared, and then, okay. And in this case, the loop broke, and okay, it broke. I do it again and continue. Keep going. All right?
So I noticed, obviously you changed from the wooden paddle to the aluminium one.
Yes.
Why not just use the aluminium one from the beginning?
Just because if you feel, you can compare on this one. On the aluminium, it's the aluminium is really is, I would say, also fragile, and then it's a little bit thicker than this and less soft. To be honest, I really prefer to have this wooden stick to fold my canopy compared to this.
So you just keep the wooden one for the canopy, and then you use the heavier one for the heavier stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say I have a student show me two aluminium stick. One is thin, one is thick, really clean. So why not? But I would love to say, as I explained, the wooden stick on the canopy and the aluminium one on the ray. And then like this, you cannot confuse. And then you see, that's my tool I use for the canopy, that's my tool I use for the rig. And I know where it is.
When closing container, when you close the side flaps, would that be anything majorly wrong if you close two side flaps in the same time?
You can. I don't do this just because I want to push my fabric on the side to keep my valley. And then if you do the two side flaps in once, you are not able to keep your valley completely empty. And this is why I don't do this. And also, you create extra tension on the closing loop and also on your grommets. So as you can see, most of the time I'm pulling by hand by reducing the distance in between the grommets and use my tool at the end, because you can have some marks on the grommets. It happens also that grommets can be also aggressive and cut your loop or cut the pull-up cord. So the less stress you put on the fabric, the better it is.
Oh, one more question about the skyhook, because you said, well, obviously putting that red line under the bridle is not what manual says, but would that actually affect the functionality, or is just a risk of disconnection?
A risk of disconnection, a big risk of disconnection. We test with the two options, below and above the green mark, and we have disconnection, a lot of disconnection below the green mark.
But disconnection, you mean when you're actually closing the container?
No.
Or disconnection under the when it's actually deployed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does not function as we expect. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. Your olives goes on top.
Yes, because the olive create extra thickness.
Okay, so you put it on top.
So because I need a lot of space here, I'm placing the olive on top. Because as you see, I place like some super thin part of fabric on top, and I need a lot of space here.
Yeah, that was the difference for me, because I've always tended to do it the other way around, and I find it makes sense to actually do. You have space at the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have you have a lot of space, so you can, it's better to manage the olive on top compared to the
Yeah,
bottom.
because there's always a gap there.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everybody.